Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eden Gardens. I'll say a somber Eden Gardens, certainly if you're of a South African inclination. I've got Temba Bavuma alongside. Temba, how do you feel after that?
Tough pill to swallow that, Pommie. I think the only respite, if anything, we were outplayed. I think from the first ball, we weren't able to get into the game. Yes, we managed to get a respectable total, one could say. But looking at the conditions, the dew factor, I think we all kind of knew that it was never going to be enough. But yeah, bitter pill to swallow. Guys had a very good campaign. I think we were all optimistic about how far they could go in the tournament. But yeah, such is cricket. Such is cricket.
You look back at the tournament, and I guess everybody will go up to this point, the semi-final and unbeaten campaign, and therefore all the answers, everything, all bases covered. And the question will then be, what went wrong?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in that changing room there, the South African changing room, I mean, that will be the questions that the guys will be asking. I think, we played a lot of our games in Ahmedabad. Conditions have been of a similar nature. And the composition of our team has really suited it from a fast bowling point of view, as well as from a batting point of view. Ball coming onto the bat, true bounce, short, straight boundaries, and we became very accustomed to that. We've come here to Eden Gardens, and we saw that it played totally different. And I guess there's always the challenge of adapting to the conditions, what is in front of you. I think that was the biggest challenge. We just weren't able to adapt quickly. And be able to put in a big score. So at the end of the day as well, New Zealand, I mean, they were clinical, with the ball. They had clear plans to our batters. They executed exceptionally well, and they, at the end of the day, they outplayed us, Pommie. With the bat, they played with a certain intensity that we just weren't able to stop. And I mean, that opening partnership between Tim Seifert up front, as well as
Finale,
Allen.
yeah.
I mean, that was destructive. A guy going on to score 100 of 33 balls. The fastest ever in the World Cup. It almost felt as if something miraculous had to happen to outdo the South Africans. Looking at the way that they play, but yeah, all credit to New Zealand. They were the better team. Yeah.
And for all of those who are out there, because you know what happens. I mean, fans, supporters are emotional more than anything else. You know this because you're still currently playing, and so you kind of get a sense of it, I'm sure, when you're in the change room yourself. They'll also look at history. They'll kind of look back and go, this keeps happening. What is it? Is there something, when you look at it, is that something you might do as well? Sort of go and say, time after time at the final hurdle, there's a slip and a fall, essentially.
I mean, those comments will definitely be there. That noise will definitely be there in terms of how we perform, or how we're not able to perform at the right moments. And everything that has been done leading up to this point will be completely be forgotten. So I mean, that's something as the players, myself included, that's something we'll just have to deal with within a mindset. But I think I've always felt, Pommie, as long as the guys are getting themselves into position to win trophies, getting into semi-finals, getting into finals, you're always giving yourself a chance. So, and I mean, true South African way, resilient. We're never gonna give back. We'll keep putting our best foot forward. I think for the guys in the changing room, there'll also be emotions there. And when the emotions are there, it's very hard to truly or soberly analyze the game, to see areas that we could have improved on, areas that we could have done better. So that will probably happen in a couple of days' time. But I think now, it's for them to kind of live in that hurt, live in that emotion, because there is a bit of power and motivation that comes with that. But yeah, they have another World Cup next year. There's a World Cup every year now within cricket, so there's always a chance. So come next year again, the guys will be putting our best foot forward.
Does that make it better or worse? Actually, I wonder. So before I used to think, yeah, it's okay. You get close and it doesn't happen. Then you get back on the horse and away you go, right? You have to get back on the horse. But I'm wondering from a psychological perspective whether it is good that the frequency is, rather high. Think of 2024, and many have spoken of 2024 and how close that was. And it kind of was leading to a repeat, and many would have probably already have headed there already in Ahmedabad and already kind of seeing India and South Africa once again. It obviously hasn't happened because New Zealand have gotten away and they're going to go there. But talk to me about the psychology of it all, the fact that it's like, moving train and you keep kind of falling off at the same place or similar places.
I think the important thing for me is that the guys keep learning. There's always clues within those performances, within those successes, within those failures. So I think it's important that you understand as to why you're not getting to the point where you are. You put aside the emotion and all of that and really try to see things as they are. It's obviously easier for us. We're on the outside. We're not involved. Our necks are not on the line, if I could put it that way. But I think for me that's very important. But also just the mindset of keep coming. Keep being persistent. Keep being optimistic. And accept that. Back home there's going to be an obsession. There's a massive obsession behind us winning World Cups, and it's rightly so. We're a proud nation. We are proud players as well. We want to be seen amongst the best in the world. But it almost feels like with that obsession, you kind of need to let things go. And I know it's contradictory in a sense, but you kind of need to kind of let go and to allow yourself to play with the level of freedom that you want. You don't want to feel as if you're being constricted by your passion or your obsession towards wanting to achieve something or the situation that you're in. I think those are the type of conversations that we'll continually having within the changing room.
Do you feel today the situation, the occasion got to the guys? Do you think it was that, particularly because in comparison to everything else that's gone before, there's been no situation that's been too tough? 2 down, 3 down, 4 down, whatever it is during the course of the tournament has been rescued. And then in this one, didn't ever look like it was going to be rescued. Even the 170 at the end, Marco playing well at the back, and it just didn't look like it was going to be enough. We know this pitch. We know what happens here. So do you think that's an occasion scenario or not?
The tough thing about it is that, like you say, from ball one, it never felt like we were in the game. It never felt like at any point where we were in a position where we should win the game. The only time was us heading into the game where they were spoken of being favourites. Obviously, looking at our journey here in the tournament, but when the first ball was bowled, after the power play, the first 6 overs, it never felt that we were in a position to win the game. So from that point of view, Pommie, I would say that we were outplayed. We were outplayed from the time that they were bowling, and obviously from a batting point of view. And I think if the guys can sit there in the change room and say that my counterpart was better than me at my skill set, and I gave my best at what I needed to do, then it's an easier thing to deal with. It's when you know that you haven't pitched up, you haven't played at your best. That's what makes it hard. But us choking or whatever it is that people might throw there, I wouldn't go that part, because at no point did I feel like we were meant to win the game.
Yeah, is that a little bit of a cop-out though? Because, and tell you why I say that. I say that because in a tournament where you're the ones, you're turning up every time, the time that you want to turn up is this time, right? And then we'll stand here and we'll say, and I agree with you actually, that today in watching, it didn't look like South Africa were the dominant force that we have become accustomed to in all the games prior to this. I think on commentary I described South Africa as looking imperious in the tournament. Like, it didn't look like anyone could beat South Africa but South Africa. And so, does South Africa beat South Africa today? Despite the fact that Finna Allen and Tim Seifert and Mitch Santner with his plans and how he kind of marshaled everybody. Do you feel that on another day, South Africa turns up and has answers to all those questions that are asked, even if they do lose on the day?
I still say, Pommie, New Zealand is the one that beat South Africa. I think there's a lot of factors that I've considered going into that, and I mean, with all of that, I still say New Zealand beat South Africa. South Africa, we were outplayed. We were outplayed. At no point did it feel like we were on top of the game, even though we went and scored 165. I mean, that was courtesy of Marco Jansen with his heroics with the bat. I think that just showed that the wicket was turning more into the batter's favor, it becoming a good wicket
getting
from
better.
that point of view. But I really think we were outplayed, and I guess there is an art to winning tournaments, right? It's about winning at the right time. You know, to have a tournament where you're playing 8 to 9 games and you're not winning, you're not losing any of those games. You know, it's rare. I think it was Rinky Ponting's team, 2003, where they did something like that. They won the World Cup when they were unbeaten, and you almost kind of not want, but you hope that if you're gonna have a blowout game, it happens earlier on. You know, and South Africa didn't have that. You know, so. You know, you could say, I mean, I heard Coach Shukri speak about luck, you know, speaking about luck along the way. And I mean, you never want to use that as an excuse, right? To say the reason why we're not in the final is because of luck, you know. But you do need certain things to happen. But if certain things don't happen, it allows the other team to get into the team and do what they did. So for me, New Zealand beat South Africa. South Africa didn't beat themselves.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyhow, I don't know that there's much more that we can say about today. Iconic stadium, particularly significant ground for South Africa itself. The story was meant to be another way for South Africa, and many had already kind of written them into that final over at Ahmedabad, and the fact that they'd played there all those games, it really wouldn't have mattered who was on the other side. We now know that it does, because it's never a foregone conclusion, isn't it? And no matter how you think that, oh, it's going this way and whoever's in form, they look like the likely side. In tournament play, you just never know.
You never know. Any team that pitches up on the day, especially in T20 cricket, you just need one moment or period of brilliance from either a batter and a bowler, and the game is within your favor, you know. So yeah, I think it was an exciting game. A lot more exciting if you're a Kiwi fan. I mean, all the best to them with the rest of the tournament. Yeah, exceptional game.
I got one more to ask of you, which is, who do you see getting into the final?
Who do I see?
Yeah, it's England, India, who play the other semi. Everything says India. Everything said South Africa, right? But, come on, give me something.
I want to go England, Pommie. And I mean, I think about it from a captaincy point of view, just planning against the English batters. There's a lot of mavericks within that batting lineup. They come out and they play irrespective of what the situation or occasion it is. And I mean, you just need one of those guys to come off, you know what I mean? I think of their captain, Harry Brook. He's an exceptional player. You know, he's a guy that can put quality bowlers under pressure. Wankidi is favourable towards batters. So I mean, if he gets in, anything can happen, you know. So I'd like to give it to the English. I think India come in with a lot of pressure. I think there's a certain pressure that comes into playing at home in a World Cup where you're expected to win. The commercials on TV, they speak to India winning, scoring 300 and all of that. So I think mentally for some of those younger guys in the team, I think it could be a factor. But I'd like to go to it for England. I don't think it'll be a one-sided game. I don't believe it'll be a one-sided. But yeah, I kind of have a feeling England might do something.
Okay, there you heard it. Temba Bavuma says maybe England. It all said India, South Africa final. It's not. It's New Zealand. And according to Temba, it might well be England. But that still has to be decided. That's all from us here at Eden Gardens. We'll catch you next time.